Hello everyone, it's Bob Mitch and welcome back to some more Star Citizen. You can see that I'm on the tram here and we're heading to the Bevic Convention Centre because despite the fact that the servers are still very broken, or at least the back-end servers, a lot of the back-end stuff is still broken, the actual game servers are up and running, as you can see. I'm going to try and show you day one of the Invictus launch week. So it came out last night, much to a very quiet zone, because the game servers, or rather, as I just said, the back-end servers, are indeed still very broken. Character creation is screwed. If I can just peer down, you can see I'm in my RSI space pajamas. The character creation doesn't work at all. The only way I've been able to get on servers is via joining friends, so right-clicking on their name in the main menu, and you can join on them. So I don't have my armor stuff set up. I do have my contacts and everything, but yeah, the back end at the minute is still very much broken. However, I'm in a server, which means I can at least show you guys the Invictus launch week floor for day one, much like I tried to show you the Idris fleet in the other video. That was very cool to watch. I may go back and reshoot that, but in the meantime, here's some Invictus launch week stuff for day one. So I think it's RSI, Origin and Tumbril systems that are in day one, so we'll go and have a look. This, as you can see here, is the plaque. I didn't actually know this was here until I saw the Inside Star Citizen video, so it's a very cool sort of history lesson that takes us through how the UEE Navy was formed, and this is about how they recruit new recruits. So the Invictus event is about when they recruit new staff for the Navy, new recruits, new meat bodies to go and throw at the invading Vandal horde. So we'll go inside and we'll go and see what the floor's like. I have of course already shown the inside of the lobby here, so these very cool dioramas of the naval oath, the sort of careers that you can be, all the flags and the merch that's going on, the Retaliator and the Vanguard inside the glass here. This cool diorama, which I still love, so time to step up. True strength is never doing it on your own and being given a hand up. They've now changed the 999 Squadron. These were all Hornets before. They are now F8s because 999 Squadron is the F8 display team. So if we look down here, you can see the records, the reckless who push the boundaries. So we'll go down onto the floor. As for the game servers themselves, I think a fair few things are still broken. There's lots of bug fixes which are fixing things. Ship Hall Origin. Okay, we'll go down to RSI and Origin first. I've not done this, so much like when I was flying around the fleet and I managed to record it moments before the 10k era started. I filmed the Idris and the Javelin docking, as you saw. Then I made my way down to the planet, and as soon as my arse hit the landing pad, the game servers went down, so that's how close to the bone that was. So, first time, this is the RSI and Origin Hall, so evoking very similar vibes to the IAE event, because it is using the same halls as such, same kind of assets but revamped. I do like all the flyers and the streamers. We've got a 325A on display here. And people walking around in all t-shirts or stood around. I imagine they do path, but it may be broken at the moment. So we've got display halls. Display halls, okay, we'll not go in there first, we'll go down and look at all the pretty ships first. So similar to the IAE event, the ship manufacturers were invited down and they've all been able to put hulls on display. So over to the right we've got the Aurora. A little info desk here. I'm kind of curious as to what this is. Oh, this is a Takawetsu model of the, it says Takawetsu model of the Aurora, or at least the box, but it's got a constellation on the desk, so go figure. That looks like an old poster, that does. I could be wrong. Like, it doesn't look like the modern constellation model. It looks like the Mark III. What have we got here? We've got an Aurora LN, and just like the IAE, you can go and rent these ships. So if you are taking part in the free flight, I suppose I should mention that because it is a thing. For the Endurity, or rather the longevity of the Invictus launch week, so May 22nd to however long it was, I think it's 11 days, is free flying. So if you haven't purchased Star Citizen, you can come on and you can fly around and you'll be able to come down to the halls and rent these ships, just like the IAE event back in November. However, take that with a grain of salt at the moment. As I have mentioned, the servers are very, very balked. CIG are working on it. There is many memes about lots of money being spent and the servers not being working. Yes, it's all very funny. But at the minute, yeah, things really aren't working. So if you haven't played the game, please do come play the game, but just take it at the moment that I think it's just because of the sheer demand of what's going on. They were basically getting DDoSed and everything just went down the pan last night. So you can rent the Mantis now. I didn't know you could rent the Mantis. So if you don't know what the Mantis is a very fun ship. I do have a video on it. It's a the first interdictor of the Star Citizen universe, much like Eve's interdictors. This thing can yank ships out of quantum travel and stop them going where they're going. It can also hold them so that they can't quantum travel away, so it's designed to be like a catcher and snare ship. It is not very heavily armoured, it does not have powerful weapons. It is very much a sort of a glass cannon. It fires its big interdiction thing and then it kind of has to hope that others will support it, otherwise it can get picked off very easily. Such to the point where the constellations here, this is the Phoenix, this is the Andromeda. I was flying a Mantis and I had a Constellation Andromeda yanked out of quantum by another player because I was doing it for giggles to see if I could get anyone. One shot from all of his 4 cannons nailed my Mantis and tore it to pieces. So I ended up with a crime stat and then I ended up dead. So yeah, the Mantis is not a great solo flyer. Let's have a look. So best one here I'd probably say is the Phoenix. We've got the Aquila here, so the exploration variant. It's nice to see more Connie variants out again. We're just waiting for the Taurus, which is the cargo one. If you are coming to play, I would recommend you come and get the Phoenix, because the Phoenix is lovely inside. I won't show you inside because I've done it before, but it's a luxury Taurus ship and it's very much worth the flight. Now I have an inkling that if we go into one of these display halls, this is where these new fancy holograms are going to be that were leaked and have been shown around. So let's go and have a look. So we're going to the right hand one first. Oh, I can see something down there. More Phoenix art. There we go. That looks like a Polaris. So I'll tease that there and then we'll just go around and look at the Connie. So this is an Aquila. Does it have anything specific? Oh no, this is the Taurus, because we don't have the Taurus yet, do we? That's interesting. Does the Taurus have the sweeping cockpit of the Aquila? I didn't know that. That's going to piss a lot of people off who own the Andromeda, because lots of people prefer that cockpit to the diamond-shaped one that the Andromeda has. So if the Taurus gets the sweeping Aquila view one, that's going to really irritate a lot of people. But the more you know. I'm wondering if it's a different model. So it could just look like it is the Taurus because it doesn't have a ship docked in the rear like the others do. The Taurus does not come with a snub fighter, so that's why it's a little bit cheaper. Alright then, moving around, we have the Polaris. Lots of people are waiting for this. This thing went on sale when the Invictus fleet launched and it sold out instantly. So at least all the store credit ones did, so the ones that you could buy with store credit, they were gone within like 2 minutes, if that. Pissed a lot of people off. The Warbond 1 versions were still there. However, I don't know if they've sold out at this time. I haven't actually looked. So the Polaris, if you don't know what the Polaris is, it's a corvette. This is going to be very much a Navy kind of service ship because it's designed to take down capital ships. Kind of like the Hammerhead. What else have we got that's kind of like that? I suppose the Idris is, although the Idris is its own capital ship. So yeah, the Polaris and the Hammerhead are very much like anti-capital ships. So. And the what's the Crusader ship? Is it the Ares? The Ares Inferno, and the fighter ships that have got the big guns on them. So yeah, anti-capital ship stuff. That's what the Polaris is for. But this is very, very cool here. Don't know when this is coming. It is not the kind of ship that I would fly because I'm not a Navy person. Just to give you some sense of scale, there you can see turrets, and that's obviously going to have a person in it. That looks like a manned turret on the side there. One down below in the bottom, so you can see how big this thing is going to be when it does come out. It's got a hangar on the top, kind of like the 890. I know a lot of my Synchronizer's org buddies are excited for that. But again, not something that I will myself be flying. I'll probably end up getting drawn into one and dying in one, or manning a turret or something if we do an event, but it's not something I myself will own. Going over to the left hand side then, wonder what we've got in here. I can see a constellation again, and another Polaris. So is this just a repeat of the other side? It looks like it. Just in case this place gets too busy, which let's face it isn't going to happen in a minute because of the servers. It's a bit broken. So that's the RSI floor. Go down to what I assume is the Tumbril and Origin floor. So they've split it over multiple floors today. I assume that's going to be happening a lot because there are a lot more ships in game now. So they may need to kind of spread things out a bit more. Okay, RSI Origin, it kind of like that they haven't relegated individual vendors to individual floors. They've kind of mishmashed them all over the place. Okie dokie. I can see a Ursa rover over there. So the second floor, that's very much Tumbril right there. Oh, we have an Anvil aerospace ballista. Okay, so Anvil's here as well on day one. Makes a change. Again, you can go up to these things if you can find a specific point, and you can rent them, so you can fly them all for free. If I am correct in they use the same rules that they used in the IAE event. As soon as you rent it, you have a 24-hour period to use it. And if you get it blown up, it doesn't matter, you can just claim it as you normally would a ship, but they time out after 24 hours, regardless of if you use them or not. So you've got 24 hours to play with them. On the Tumbril stand we have lots of cyclones. We've got the anti-air cyclone, we've got the recon cyclone, and we've got the turret cyclone. Doesn't seem like we've got the racing variant here today. Racing variant is the red one. These ones, are they all white? They are, so these are in different schemes. So they put these on in different colour schemes. So normally the turret one and the anti-air one would be green. I do believe the recon one is normally a different colour as well. So it looks like these are in specific liveries. Is that the right word for the event? Maybe they've made it so that you can apply different paints to these. I know there's a little bit of controversy going on with the paints as well, isn't there? They've made paints available on the store, although apparently you can buy paints in game as well. I'll have to go and investigate that, and I may add that later on in this video if I can find it, or do another video. Going in the left hand viewing gallery then, this is something that interests me very much. So this is the new Origin rover. They've put these on the store. This is the Origin G12, I believe. Yeah, G12A for this one. So this is the Origin competitor to the Ursa rover, which you could see outside there. I own one of these, though sort of non-congruously I haven't bought it. It came with my 890 jump, so I'm looking forward to seeing when these come out. There was discussion about the military using what is essentially, literally, a space BMW, or a space Tesla, if you like, because that's kind of what these look like. But it was like, they're going to be good for showing off generals and things like that. And then Origin was like, hey, we'll make you one with lots of guns on it, and that's what became the weaponized variant of one of these things. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing these. These are just concepts at the minute. There's no kind of you know, drivable version. Same applies very much with this. This is the Tumbril Nova tank, the Tumbril Nova Tonk, as everyone likes to call it. This is very much doing concept. I don't think a lot has been done with this yet. I don't know what kind of gameplay benefits we'll have from having a tank in the game, but they wanted to have a tank in the game, so we have a tank. You can buy a tank. I do believe this is on sale at the minute, but obviously still in concept. You can't fly or drive it, as the case were. I do not own one of those. Let's move across to the other side of the gallery. I assume it's just going to be the same thing again. I don't think there is any other concepts from Origin and such that they can show us. There's a big Origin sign there, so I'm assuming that's just going to be another G12 down there. Yeah, there's the tank. So yeah, that's just another G12. So just the same again on the other side. So that's pretty much day one, isn't it? All wrapped up. It's just many ground vehicles and some RSI ships. and an Origin 325 it was up on the floor. So kind of, I hate to say it, but it feels like a bit of a weak offering, because there's lots of ships that you can fly from Origin, and it doesn't seem that they've given them much of a showing, unless they're coming in another day to kind of fill gaps, kind of like Anvil has done here. So there is cool stuff on display here. These vehicles are fun, very much so. If you go to Microtech and use the garages and such, definitely drive around in a Cyclone on the surface of Microtech is good fun. I imagine the Ballista would be, although I don't think you're going to be able to shoot much, because the Armistice zone around Microtech is colossal, so you'll be driving for a very long time before you manage to get outside of it and be able to fire those missiles. That said, when you do get out of there, firing those missiles is very good fun, and blowing things up is very good fun. So I'm going to call that one here. I'm going to put a statutory, we'll see if this is the end of it, because we don't know if they're going to extend day one due to the server issues. We shall have to see. But for now, that's day one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.